At what age did you acknowledge the war?
5 to 10.
What were people thinking?
That's not easy to say.
Before the war, the German dictator Adolf Hitler had become determined to invade and occupy Poland. Hitler intended to invade Poland, but he had to first neutralize the possibility that the Soviet Union would resist the invasion of its western neighbor. Germany made secret negotiations with Russia, the USSR at the time, so they could invade Poland and divide it between themselves. Hitler thought that he would attack Poland with no danger of Soviet or British intervention, so he gave orders for the invasion to start. On August 31st, 1939, Hitler ordered hostiles against Poland to then start the next morning. The invasion began as ordered. In response, Great Britain and France declared war on Germany on September 3rd. World War II had now begun. The United States would not join the war until 2 years later.
Here is the actual bombing of the mighty USS Arizona by Jap planes.
On December 7th, 1941, 6 months after the United States put an oil embargo on Japan to reduce their war materials, the United States naval base, Pearl Harbor, was airstriked by the Japanese.
Fell the Arizona when a Jap bomb falling directly.
What were your reactions to Pearl Harbor?
Oh, we're thinking it was very sad.
Is there anything about Pearl Harbor you remember?
No.
Was there any way for you to get information about Pearl Harbor?
About the newspaper, but if we say something bad, they take over the newspaper, everything.
How can I write at such a time? I have to do something because I can see the smoke pouring up into the air from Pearl Harbor, and the sound of the guns and the bombs bursting in the water right before us keeps me in such a nervous state that I must do something. John is at Pearl Harbor. He left early this morning because he was supposed to go today. They have been rushing so. I know they have hit places because I see so much smoke.
During the first days of Okinawa, American troops landed on the island. The island was covered with Imperial Japanese forces, but not for long. The American military set up the largest amphibious landing conducted during the U.S. Pacific War. For the next month, both Japanese and American forces would conduct suicide bombings with planes. Finally, after the Japanese sacrificed their citizens' lives, the Allied forces took over Okinawa and claimed victory. American, Australian, and Indonesian troops were captured and brought to the Philippines to suffer and die.
Japanese butchery, disease, exposure to the blazing sun, lack of food, lack of water took the lives of approximately 5,200 Americans along the way. Many prisoners were bayoneted, shot, or beheaded along the side of the road and left to die.
This event was referred as the Bataan Death March, an act to eliminate captured soldiers. At the stroke of midnight, in the darkest hours, American parachuters landed on the beaches of Normandy. This attack was a surprise to the Germans, although they knew an invasion was coming. They could tell by the forces that were gathering in Britain. What they did not know is where the Allies would attack. In order to confuse the Germans, the Allies created a ghost army using hundreds of inflatable replica war vehicles to make it look like they were going to attack the north of Normandy at Pas-de-Calais. Hitler sent his troops to Pas-de-Calais. Due to Hitler's poor tactics, the Allied forces were able to invade. Where were the German soldiers?
In my front yard, in the backyard, around the house.
Did they do anything in specific?
When they take my bread and my hand, they put it on the floor and they spit on it. En de girl of my cousin's father, they have 3 or 4 in front of the father and the boyfriend.
Ration coupons. This coupon of coupons there. You see the ration pool of food ration coupon. Ration coupons.
Across the world, all civilians were told to ration. Rationing was the process of limiting the amount of food and resources one could use during the time of war, to therefore use those resources for the war. There were several methods to ration these resources. What did you do to ration during the war?
We did not have any sugar, we didn't have candy, we did not have many things.
What was the process of rationing during the war?
Oh, we have a cart and to go buy the food.
What did you do with clothing items?
We use the clothing we have from the cousin.
Was there anything you did to get more clothing items?
After the war, we went to where the Germans were there, and we take their clothes and their boots and everything.
Where were the bodies?
In a field, a big field.
What was your reaction when the war was over?
We sing, we dance.
Where were you?
I was in my house in the farm.
What were your parents' reactions to the end of the war?
My father was very, very happy. My mother was already dead.
If there was a war today, do you think it would be the same?
I hope not.